Good morning. If you saw this headline this morning and like me thought, why is it always Berkeley? Then you've come to the right place. So first of all, yesterday it was like the final stop in the campus tour for Turning Point USA, and of course Berkeley students showed up to protest. The president of the Berkeley Turning Point USA chapter acknowledged that it was mostly peaceful, but of course police were there. We don't really know all the details yet, but there were like skirmishes and scuffles and whatever, and a few students were arrested. And now the Justice Department is going to investigate this as like an Antifa riot. So if you remember from your high school history class, Berkeley was the center of the free speech movement of the early to mid 1960s. So the campus administration had put a ban on all student-led political activities, and they were not happy about that. The kind of inciting incident, at least for the mass sit-ins, is going to be the arrest of a civil rights activist who was manning a table for CORE, the Congress of Racial Equality. Led by Mario Savio and other groups, they hold a sit-in where hundreds or thousands of students and then other just sympathetic activists show up on campus to protest this, violation of their First Amendment right. Over 800 people are arrested as a result of these protests, but it does really launch what is, to me, a very important undercurrent of all the different movements and activism of the 1960s and 70s, which is just the right to freedom of speech, which you think, well, it's the First Amendment, of course we have that. Well, no, there were still a lot of questions about where and when do you have that First Amendment right? So especially with students, especially with young people in K through 12 and even on college campuses, they were like, well, can our institution set a rule that violates some part of that First Amendment right? Berkeley students said no, they can't. And it should be noted that eventually the Supreme Court is going to agree in Tinker v. Des Moines. They take up the case of this brother and sister who were wearing like a black armband at their school in protest of the Vietnam War. The school said they couldn't do it. They took it all the way up to the Supreme Court. And now because of these two students, it was established that even students, even young people, still maintained their rights when they entered an educational institution. So when you, if you're a student, walk into your high school or onto your college campus or whatever, you still maintain those rights thanks to young people like this.